Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would note that I think the Democratic majority on this committee may have inadvertently convened a hearing on the profound anti-Israel bias of the Biden administration. I very much agree with the questions Senator Hagerty just asked about Mr. Ratney's involvement in sending taxpayer funds to a group that employed Obama political operatives to run a campaign against the sitting Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and to undermine our friend and ally, Israel. But as disturbing as that conduct was, Ms. Wittes' conduct is even more concerning. Ms. Wittes, if you're confirmed, you'll be in charge of distributing vast amounts of funding across the Middle East. Since 2015, the Brookings Institution that employs you has taken at least $12.5 million from the Embassy of Qatar. That's the amount that can be traced publicly. Just 4 days ago, the president of Brookings resigned in a scandal because he's facing an investigation for being an undisclosed lobbyist for Qatar. And he resigned because he said, "I know it is best for all concerned at the moment." Now, the president of Brookings has resigned over this, but you ran the Middle East Center at Brookings. To what extent did you participate in fundraising from Qatar?
Senator, thank you. I want to be very clear. I had no knowledge of any of these disturbing allegations regarding General Allen. I didn't discuss research on Qatar with General Allen. I did not do fundraising meetings for foreign governments with General Allen.
So did you know that your work was being paid for by Qatar?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you knew you were funded by a foreign embassy.
Yes, sir. We had funding from several foreign governments, including the Norwegians and the Emiratis.
Well, the Norwegians and Emiratis don't work to undermine us, and they don't work to undermine Israel. The Qataris do. Did you participate in any way in the fundraising?
I participated in one fundraising meeting in, I think, 2012.
Okay, just a second ago you said you didn't participate in the fundraising.
Not with General Allen, sir. General Allen became president after I stepped down as director.
But you participated in 2012 in fundraising from the Qataris?
I sat in a meeting in which Ambassador Indyk was asking for a renewal of our grant.
Okay, you published a report with the Qatari Ministry of Foreign Affairs logo on the cover of it, correct?
Senator, we had a grant agreement with the Qataris to conduct a joint conference, which we did in Doha every year.
Okay, the president of Brookings just resigned over allegations that he was an unregistered lobbyist for Qatar. Did you register as a lobbyist for Qatar?
No, sir, I never conducted advocacy for Qatar.
Should the president of Brookings have resigned over this? Was he right to do so?
Senator, I cannot speak to what General Allen did or did not do.
Should the same standards apply to you?
Senator, the rules at Brookings were very clear. We received regular trainings on FARA compliance. I had no problem understanding the rules.
Should the American taxpayers be concerned that President Biden wants to put in charge of distributing millions of dollars of taxpayer money someone who has spent years being funded by a foreign nation who is not our friend?
Senator, I think my research and the research that I supervised was conducted with complete independence from all of our donors.
But it was funded by the Qataris.
On its own merits.
It was funded by the Qataris, and it just happened to so comply with their agenda that they put their damn logo on the cover, correct?
Senator, they did not put their logo on any of our
You put
research.
their logo on the cover.
No, sir. Their
Who put the logo?
Is not on the research.
Who put the logo on the cover?
Senator,
of the report you published?
The logo
Did you put the logo or did they?
Senator, we co-produced a conference.
Okay, so you both put the logo. All right, I want to shift to another topic. You know, the Biden administration claims to support the Abraham Accords. I got to say, your record on the Abraham Accords is stunning. It's one thing for your colleague, Mr. Ratney, to fund political campaigns against the sitting Prime Minister of Israel, but when the Abraham Accords came out, in September 2020, you tweeted that Arab leaders should not deepen ties with Israel until they saw whether President Trump won re-election. Why were you urging Arab countries not to deepen ties with Israel?
Senator, I was skeptical when the Emiratis made their announcement, which was breathtaking, in August 2020. I was skeptical that other Arab states would join them. And
You urged them not to.
I was proven wrong.
But you urged them not to, so they didn't follow your advice. But you wanted them not to make peace with Israel.
No, Senator, I did not urge. I was...
All right, you tweeted that peace between Israel and the UAE was a new Naksa setback. You also said it was a triumph for authoritarianism and just a normalization of men, which I don't know what the hell that means. Why did you actively lobby against historic peace accords in the Middle East? And how could anyone have any confidence that you can be a senior government official?
Senator, I support the accords. I support the profound transformation.
Well, I get that's the right political answer to say now, but it's not what you said then.
Senator, those are not my words. I tweeted out 2 articles critical of the accords, one by an Israeli and one by an Egyptian. Both
All right,
of which
final
you
question on the Egyptians. You have tweeted that Egyptian President Sisi is running a Reich that is a fascist regime. How exactly do you think you're going to be able to work with our Egyptian allies when you've called their president a Nazi?
Senator, those are not my words.
You didn't say he's running a Reich?
No, Senator, I have no recollection of ever using those words about President Sisi.
Well, I'm going to follow up in writing because the record is clear, but it is really stunning. The anti-Israel bias of senior nominees in this administration, and it is inconsistent both with American national security interest and with standing with our friend and ally, the State of Israel.
Senator Young, anything further?
Just picking up on one loose thread, Ms. Witte, you're director of the Center for